You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Team Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of Atlanta After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of Atlanta After Show.
Hey guys, welcome to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another after show at AfterBuzz TV for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm Stephanie Bauer, your host, and go ahead and introduce yourself, Cam. Go ahead on.
Cameron Marston.
Feel free to mess up my name. I know I was
Mykee
wrong
Wattz. And Jesse Janedy. All right, guys. So it's yet another episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was a little slow and a little boring. But we've got a lot of juicy gossip and news at the end, so stay tuned. But let's get right into it with Cynthia and Peter. Last episode we saw the whole fight with Cynthia's ugly sister Mallory. Ding, 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 ding. I'm sorry, that's so mean. But we were just talking about the point that how are they mother, same mother, father?
Well, I was saying that I think Cynthia has her looks from her father, and what's her name has her looks from
Mallory.
Yeah, Mallory has her looks from her mother.
I'm sorry, that was mean, but Cynthia is like so drop dead gorgeous that.
And then
I don't really think Cynthia is that gorgeous.
She's
oh wait, but when you like,
I think
when
she's
you guys
modeled
brought that up,
like because she's weird looking, like that's why she's
Modeled,
looking.
yeah. But then when you guys brought that up and like they were doing a screenshot from Cynthia with the tight skin, tight cheeks, then to Marlo, and she was just like,
it's like
looked
hanging
like a dog. I was like,
down.
Girl.
That's why you don't smoke cigarettes.
That's why I would not be on that TV show. I would have been in Africa, like
Or France. Yeah, I would be in France,
Yeah,
like
France.
away from my hot sister. Anyway, so we see Cynthia and Peter talking in their kitchen in their living room, and Cynthia says, "How did you think the party was?" And Peter says, "I thought it was great." But they're leading into the fact that Mallory acted, I don't know, do you guys think she was drunk, or like Cynthia said it was a midlife crisis, or she was just jealous?
Well,
What do you
what
guys
we
think it
talked about
was?
the last show was that I think Peter was out of line. That was very high school. It was just uncalled for.
Let's talk about the kitchen setup. I mean, they're like, oh well, so why did something happen? Just the way they set up the kitchen scene.
Yeah,
with
that
Peter
was
and
really
Cynthia,
contrived.
like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Peter, you know what you did? He did it on purpose.
Classic housewives setup, just as I think the sisters talking in the store was completely set up. She wheels in her little suitcase, like you're going to France. You have one
With
suitcase.
one suitcase.
Yeah. She wheels it in. Cam said she got dropped off by a taxi. That's why she brought it in the store with her. I think that was totally staged.
She got dropped off by Phaedra's hearse.
No, you would have heard that coming a mile away. It would be like,
with Apollo right in front, huh?
oh, when the same.
Yeah, that's it. The Saints music.
I don't know. I mean, as far as they're both wrong as far as I look at it. It's just, I think now a year later, you can't really get mad at Peter for doing something like that because you are nagging into this relationship, and it's just like, girl, like Cynthia's saying, like now Cynthia's just putting her foot down, whether she's happy in the relationship or not. Like, get out of their business and go deal with what you need to be dealing with in France.
But it's
like,
kind of weird. Like she's like, yeah, you need to go back to Paris, but I mean, why can't I just stay in Atlanta if I want to? I don't have to work for you or see you, but why do I have to go back?
I guess it seems like her husband lives in France.
He does.
He does, but she doesn't need to go back. Why is she even there then?
I know.
She was there to help Cynthia with this agency.
Oh,
be on TV.
for that agency?
So did she just get fired?
She was just trying
she
to be
got
on
fired.
TV.
That's why she had her bag. She had to get all her stuff because she changes and sleeps there probably. Who knows?
No, I mean, she
And I'm
didn't-
like, but you only have one bag.
She
to
couldn't have
take back
got
to
fired
Paris.
because unless this was like totally staged, because she walked in, she was like, so, like you're just coming to tell your sister right now who you're working for.
Yeah.
I'm going to France right now.
I'm
as a
just
matter of
gonna
fact,
go.
I'm just letting you know.
No,
And
they definitely
Cynthia's
talked
just
about
like,
it before. They
Definitely.
have to,
Okay.
They definitely talked about it before.
Because
but
you know she wanted that last paycheck. Like, girl, I need to go to France.
I'm going to pick up my last pay stub.
Who knows if she was even getting paid?
I'm sure.
She was getting paid in gum.
But Peter says that he thinks that he's always defending himself around her. Do you guys think that that's true?
Yeah.
And he should.
No, I don't think so.
He has a lot to defend.
Yeah, no, I think.
There
What
you
do you
go.
mean you don't think
What is he, a
is?
little girl? Like, come on now. How?
Yeah, he
it's-
is.
But if
In a black
Mallory's
man's body.
always coming around starting stuff, then yeah, he would always be defending himself.
He started this last incident, so I think
No, I'm
he
not
needs
saying
to shut
I'm
up.
not saying he's right. I'm saying that he has a lot to defend. In the case, he starts a bunch of shit now. He has to defend himself.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Yeah.
But he does it every time. Even
Yeah.
when she's coming over for like coffee or something, he's like, like just that grumpy old man in the back. Like,
He is. grumpy
obviously
over
she's gonna
Shut
feel
up,
certain
Peter.
ways.
Wax
Yeah.
your head.
Take care of your kids, Peter.
So,
No, he's waxing his head just fine.
so Cynthia
That's all
was
he's
right.
doing fine.
Cynthia was right to give him an ultimatum, or give her
Cynthia's
sister an
bad
ultimatum.
too, and she needs to put her foot
I didn't
down
like
with
the
her
way
family.
Cynthia spoke to her sister today. I thought it was out of line. It was like, bitch, please, because you ain't happy in your relationship, and just because your sister's calling it out on national television, it's like what happened with the Beverly Housewives. Like, bitch, we all knew what was going on there. She just clocked your tea first.
By the way, the I don't know if we talked about this already, but the story about Mal dating her
Oh yeah.
daughter's boyfriend or marrying her daughter's
False.
boyfriend is false.
Okay.
Because the daughter would have been 12 at the time that she married.
Although I
So-
mean, it doesn't. No.
So I don't know that it just
Croy?
didn't add up. It doesn't add up.
Well,
No,
I
yeah,
mean,
I-
Cynthia
popcorn.
then attacks Mal and her husband's relationship, so then that's when Mal gets mad. But I don't blame Cynthia for doing that. Like she can do the
And the
exact
supposed
same
tea
thing.
on that is that the issue was that he wasn't getting paid under his contract at the time. So her husband had money problems. So it's a money issue, Peter, and his money issues versus.
So they both have husbands that have had money issues or are still having, and they just need to stay out of each other's business and just be there for each other
Well, I
and
think
don't worry about the
I think
husbands, the
Cynthia's-
spouses.
She's nails. She's nukes because she just wants to have she wants her cake and eat it too. She wants her family to support her and do all of that. But when they have something to say about it, she doesn't. She can't handle it.
But it's been a year.
Yeah,
like,
it's too long.
Yeah.
It's not like it's some scummy boyfriend she's dating and she's 16 and getting in kinds of trouble. She's married to this dude. Like,
Maybe
Come
it's that
on.
Cynthia
Deadbeat dad.
has lived this life that her mother and her sister have not lived, living in New York, being a model, going to Paris, Milan, South Africa, that now she feels like, how dare you have something to say about my life because I've done all these fabulous things and you guys are just regular people. You're my family,
And
but
I'd be like, look,
how
who
dare
did
you? How dare you
regular
have anything?
people.
Who did you come running home to when you had problems and you were a mess and you didn't survive and you didn't succeed? You came running home to us?
That's true.
We're your grounding.
But maybe she feels that way, like uppity, like I've done all this amazing
When
things.
all your relationships failed and you couldn't get married, you had a kid. Who helped raise your kid?
I don't know.
Cynthia, come on now.
Well, you never know.
I
Stone it out
think
there.
that Peter and
Nah, it's
Cynthia
possible, I'm just
are
kidding.
doing a tad bit better, though.
I'm doing a bit much.
Yeah, because
seems like it,
Cynthia's, no pun intended, she's
Cynthia's
being a
paying
bitch.
bills.
She's playing the bitch role and finally dedicating her life to her husband. So now I'm gonna defend Peter. I'm gonna make sure my sister, my mom, anybody has something bad to say, I'm not gonna let it happen anymore.
Well, another factor is the restaurant or whatever they had invested in together is no longer in existence. So that added stress is not around. She has her own thing. It's her baby. The agency is hers. It's not
Right.
his. So that doesn't have that added stress of that investment that went awry or was going down in flames.
What happened to Bar One?
Is it
his
totally
mess.
gone? It's totally
No,
gone?
no. He's talking about the one that they had together. Bar
first
one
one.
is
Uptown.
Peter's.
Uptown, where the chandelier and her
Uptown?
agency came from.
Oh,
The
they're
wires
using
hanging.
it.
Bar one is his, and she has her little modeling.
Which I'm sure she gave him money for
Room.
the Bar One thing too. So.
Yeah.
I think she said that she did too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they seem to be doing a little bit better. Kim and Kandi also seem to be doing a little bit better. This was like the most heartwarming, reasonable, warm,
Resolution.
fuzzy, and it's because no one else was there.
Yep.
I mean, it was just
Or-
Kim and
or
it was
should we
just
say
Kandi.
Sheree wasn't there?
Yeah, exactly. just Sheree, not there. So
I think Kandi kind of threw Cynthia under the bus there, though, because she kind of like, I never said anything about the black baby, but Cynthia's the one that said it. But there
Well,
was never any
Cynthia-
mention of a black baby, though.
yeah, but if
So-
someone had been dogging me that bad for something I didn't say after this long, I'd sure.
But
say
Cynthia was
who it
already
was.
thrown under the bus.
Yeah,
she was
she
brought up
knew
at the
it.
last conversation, but
Yeah, but even Kandi could have been the stronger one and been like, nobody said anything about a black baby.
but that's a lie because Cynthia did.
And
say
there
it
was.
a
said,
black
I don't
It was
see-
just it was a contextual thing about I just can't see Kim in an orphanage.
But there was nothing said
Holding
about a
baby.
black baby. The
No,
black
Yeah.
baby
Cynthia-
thing.
Cynthia
said,
said that.
I don't see her holding
And
a
what,
little black baby.
and what all Kandi
don't
said is, I
remember
just
that.
can't see her like
this
coming
trip.
to Africa like on this trip.
I just remember them saying I couldn't see Kim in an orphanage. There was no mention of black babies anywhere, from what I remember.
You guys can tweet us at AfterBuzz TV.
That was the
Bam.
issue because the black baby was not like that was made up. It was just orphanage, and then they took orphanage and
God,
made
this
that
has
to
been
black
going on
babies.
so long now. It's been drug out so long that
I'm
I've
pretty
forgotten
sure I
too.
remember it.
No, yeah,
I'm pretty sure I remember.
But
it.
it wasn't in context.
I can't
of
see
she
me
was
with a
saying
black baby.
specifically
I'm not
that
having
Kim
kids
and a black
anytime soon.
baby.
So
It was just
how about that?
Kim at an orphanage
Get mad
with
at
black
that.
kids. Yeah. Kim a mess.
but
Kim,
I'm just
Kim needs to
glad-
pay Kandi.
Yeah,
Give her money.
Yeah, and it was kind of good that she brought that
Yeah.
up, and you can tell Candy's still a little pissed off for her to like send the numbers out there too. She was like, "You think I just got 2,000-3,000? You get 80."
Well, that was a cut. That was a
Cut back, yeah,
to
to the reunion.
The last reunion.
But
Yeah.
didn't she bring it up again?
No, that was.
They
just-
talked about the issues over the music thing.
No.
But she didn't
The
bring up
cutback
the
was
price.
okay.
She didn't bring
Regardless,
up the
though.
price. That was the
Kim knows. And Kim said she's like, "Oh fuck, I was wrong.
She was like, "Yeah, you know what? Let's just throw this under the bus."
We're a wash."
Kim's
But
new
at,
single.
at that reunion, Kim did promise to pay her,
yeah.
so maybe she did get paid, and that's why they didn't have to bring up the price.
Kim's new single comes out on the 28th.
Candy's fine with it. She's like,
What new single is
What
this?
is going
It's a
on?
new single. I saw her write it on Twitter.
How
so
I
it'll
lick
be out
Corey's
on
butt every night?
How on
That's
it'll
the
be on
hot single.
iTunes. on
She's
the
gonna sing
28th.
"Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." It's for children. That'd be amazing. She came out.
How
she
to
was
adjust
reading
your
Nursery Rhymes.
wig?
Nursery. But Candy's gone country, and we saw a little bit of her with Jody Messina in Nashville. I love seeing Kandi doing her thing. It makes me so proud of her. I love to see a housewife that's working, really successful, doing something that she loves. It's kind of boring, the country thing. You guys
I
love
don't think
music.
she wasn't successful in executing a country song. I think it sounded like TLC, Escape, any black group could have sung that song. It didn't sound to me country, but I guess
It did to me.
Well, no, yeah, because
Really?
actually,
it sounded like a Bruno Mars song.
Cam
Yeah.
said
At
it
the end of
sounded
the
like
day.
a Pink song.
Pink, Bruno Mars, but that's
Bruno
not
Mars,
country.
And I don't know, the song to me, like,
And then the message was just
I was just-
urban. Money
Yeah.
don't grow on trees. Okay.
Well,
2 cars parked in the back.
right.
I mean, if
no.
you didn't know Dolly Parton wrote "I Will Always Love You," you would never know that was a country
Right.
song either.
But it didn't sound like a country song.
Dolly's there.
when you hear Dolly, it's like
total
oh.
country.
But not as much as money.
No, I mean like,
Yeah,
but
like,
when
that was
she sang
really
the
urban.
chorus, "Money Don't Grow on Trees," I'm like, Kandi, like you're 5 years old. Like, I don't know. It just,
But that's.
I almost was sitting there singing like Jody, like you're dead ass singing this like
But country songs
boldly.
are very like that. They're very simple. They're
No,
very
no,
easy
the
to
words in it,
understand.
like the whole thing. If I had gas and I wouldn't look back twice, and shit, I was saying that today.
I'm sorry. Bruno Mars did that last year, and he actually won.
If I
Grammys
was,
for that,
I want to
so-
be a billionaire. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Because
that's,
it's relatable, it's everyday thing. I get it.
Well, let's make
It
a
could
song
sell.
about
It'll sell.
sitting on the toilet. That's relatable and every day. It doesn't make it right.
I'm sure someone could come up with it.
I'm sexy and I know it.
I think Kandi picked the right person with Jody Messina though, because when they're sitting together at the Bluebird
Yep,
Cafe or
diner.
something, I don't see a lot of country singers sitting there with like black woman, only black person in the place.
Was she really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I mean, I don't see a lot of people doing that, and Jody Messina's just like, yeah, I'm a girl, you know, like
She was
I don't
actually
see
looking-
Faith Hill doing that.
She was actually
Carrie Underwood or
looking at Kandi like when Kandi came into the studio. Kandi was like, "Ooh, I've never done this before," and Jody's like, "What?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Record with like like the whole band here," and she was almost like, "Bitch, that's, I know you use tracks and shit like that, but bitch, it's a recording. Like, ain't nothing new.
Ain't
for you
no
to be
auto
scared."
tune up in here.
Exactly. I think that country is
And I
a
think
lot
that's what
more
Kandi was a little
Genuine.
natural.
Because we did not hear Kandi sing live tonight.
I think Candy's so fake. Like, how can you win all these Grammys and write for all these amazing artists and feel there's a band in here, like, and feel.
I'm just pulling a Kandi side.
Are you okay?
I think Cam's the only person that got that right.
They have pills for that.
Mykee. What is happening? I'm so lost. Mykee, go.
I'm not hating.
I just feel like Candy's fake. Like,
agreed.
You've been around all these amazing artists who are selling 10 million. Millions of records. You feel intimidated by Jody. Like, why?
Yeah, well, because then even when they like introduced them in the cafe, they introduced her
after the song,
no, before the song, and they were like, 60 platinum million records, Grammys, and then it was just like they had to like pull shit for Kandi. It was like.
It was awkward, but even the small things, like they sing the song and Jody introduces her very fluidly, organically, and then Candy's like, Jody Messina. It's just, well, I noticed Cynthia, Kandi, they kind of their interpersonal skills are they're a little off.
And it's weird because they have the biggest,
because they're unsure of themselves.
But why?
That when artist mentality, like, I'm not part of this world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Speaking of, never mind.
But anyways, you guys got me actually really lost because are you guys saying Joni is the bigger artist than Kandi, right?
She's down to earth. Yeah.
Jody Messina's a big artist.
Right.
Yeah.
Artist. Now, as performing artist, I should say that. Because that's what he was basically saying. She sold how many platinum records?
It was only like 5 million.
5 million, but then when Kandi came out there, like she's been
associated.
She's been credited for 60 plus records.
Thank you, Beyonce.
Right, and it's like Kandi doesn't own it, and she should own it. But I mean, obviously, when you hear them singing, like when Jody sang that song, I was like, oh, okay, actually, the song sounds dope. Like, but when Kandi was saying, it was like, bitch, you are a singer, right? So sing it. But she's just so unsure of herself. It comes off awkward.
She also, I mean, let's talk Escape. She had Tamika singing her vocal. Those vocals are off the chain. Tamika was amazing.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the best interpersonal skills of all the housewives?
NeNe.
I would say NeNe. Definitely not Sheree. Oh my
NeNe
God.
or Phaedra?
Phaedra, yeah.
And I don't like Kim.
I was dead ass
but
gonna
Kim
go
is a
there.
little more down to earth. Like, you know, she doesn't talk about her purse on the floor and Phaedra and the 12 cakes. It's just, you don't do that in front of normal people.
Kim would totally say that about her purse on the floor. And she'd say it rude and she'd say it bitchy and she wouldn't laugh about it. She'd be like, I am not putting my purse on the floor.
I'm not saying she's normal.
I would have to say Kim and NeNe. And that's kind of crazy that I even put those two in that category. But Phaedra, after that birthday party today, was like, no,
we'll
girl.
get there. Oh my God, I don't even know where to start.
No,
let's go
Phaedra,
there now.
but that was...
Let's talk about Phaedra.
And next week,
I have so much to say.
We'll start with the birthday party. It's Ayden's first year birthday party, and they go to a
Walking Dead. Dwight came back.
Yes. Looks like Phaedra brought him up from the dead or whatever.
Dude,
and it does. That guy is.
Tone down the makeup, bro.
And the
brother.
plastic surgery.
Phaedra
Tone
did
it down.
Makeup. She's practicing for her.
And seriously, why are you wearing a suit to a pool party? What was it?
Every show he's ever been.
Water park.
Pause. Do you want to see him? I don't want to see him in a bathing suit.
I don't want to see him at all.
Well,
He's
that
so
too.
gross.
But I'm just saying, like, he needs to be in the suit. What would you see him in?
Okay. The announcement, like they were princes and royalty.
They stroll out of the bathroom locker room. Like, she looks like she's wearing like a Kmart bathing suit. Like,
Dude.
Really?
And the showcasing off Apollo as he's like shirtless and bare and oiled up. All these women are like
tongues wagging.
Yeah.
And I can't believe
quite
Sheree was
know.
the only one to show up.
Well, it was 2 hours away, which Sheree made a big deal about it. But if that's the only water park that's nearby, whatever. And Phaedra at least got a chartered bus to take everywhere there comfortably. But the bus had the banner on the side, and there's water bottles with Ayden's label on them. And where do we even begin on the 12 birthday cakes? They were presented to him like
he knew what
like
they were
gold,
saying.
myrrh, and like bowed down before him, like he could look at them.
Like he was baby Jesus.
He's not even gonna remember that.
And towards the end of that whole cake thing, it looked like he was going to about to go into like a sugar coma. He was like, what the pasta?
Well, I don't think he ate any of them except the
That last
last
one.
one. That's what they would do. They held it in front of him like he was like.
And Phaedra's like forcing it
critiquing.
down his throat, just like, eat this.
Oh no, he put his face in it.
It
at
looks
first.
like he goes.
Looks
Because
like he
he's so
passed
damn
out for a bit.
tired from the heat and the sun boiling on him and
In his Burberry hat.
waiting for all these damn cakes. He's looking at like,
He was probably scared of Dwight trying to hide his face.
I kind of lost a teensy bit of liking and respect for Phaedra after this. Like the 12 cakes, that was ridiculous.
I
It's
still
a
like
waste of
Phaedra.
everyone's
I love her,
time.
It was a little over the top.
that whole party just seemed very
He's
forced.
a prince and this.
Well,
and
most parties are kind of forced.
first birthday parties are always funny because it's like your baby's not gonna remember it.
Right.
But
That's why it shouldn't be 2 hours away. Hey, bing.
is it Courtney?
Bing is for doing.
Oh.
And we're here doing.
And then
The Mason Lodge. Are we
yeah,
going into
that's what I
that?
was gonna bring up.
So Apollo
Had a speech.
has a speech at the Mason Lodge. Phaedra's going to support her husband that's an ex-con that does speaking engagements now to motivate other people.
Part of his community.
He was
service.
nervous.
He was nervous. He was practicing in the car. Could have killed someone. Could have gotten a ticket.
Phaedra
Like,
told him to imagine the whole audience naked.
that trick has never worked on anybody.
And I
That's
don't know
like-
if he should do that. She might lose her husband.
I'd be so concentrated on like actually trying to picture that I would forget where I was.
I love
It would be
how
awkward.
Phaedra suggested it to him like she's the first person on the planet that ever thought of that. Like, someone once told me in college, like, that's the oldest trick in the book, and it
Queen
doesn't work.
Phaedra.
But I guess Apollo is trying to do good now.
I mean, sure.
Boys, Cam,
Silence.
do you have an opinion?
I mean, what is the Mason Lodge or Lounge or whatever the hell that is?
It
men's
falls,
club?
it's a Masonic lodge, and I was, of course, I read up a little on it. They had a hard time getting their, in order to become a lodge, there's a lot of process you have to go through and the requirements that you have to fulfill, and they had a bunch of issues. It was three brothers that created that actual lodge that they're in. I forget the truth level or whatever it was.
And it's only
The
in
actual
Atlanta?
lodge.
No, there's multiple.
But you're talking about the
There's
actual
multiple
lodge
ones. The
that
one
he
that
was
he was
speaking.
in,
And it looked like they had some difficulty with the breakfast that was there too.
There was women there too. His whole speech was like passport to manhood, and it was like
Yeah,
women
I don't
and
necessarily
children.
think that was an actual Masonic meeting. I think that was a special, like,
Just a guest speaker.
He said it was an
for
annual
some-
breakfast. They have breakfast once a year.
I don't know. Maybe it was grits, but that
Once a
looked
year or
like mashed
once a
potatoes in the
month?
It
morning.
said annual.
Oh.
I was like, really? You think you'd have this once a month?
Passport to something.
Passport to
Manhood.
manhood. Yeah.
Cute.
Passport to manhood.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Round of applause for Paul for trying.
Boring.
Yeah, and on to NeNe, who is also equally as boring this episode. She goes to see her lawyer and she goes to see her therapist.
Whoop-de-doo. And then
She repeats
all
the
she does
same
is
line as she says
pay
at
people.
the beginning
To
of the
listen to
season
her.
about the purse.
Yeah, she repeats the exact same line about putting her purse on the floor.
Is that supposed to make you look better
Well, at
in
least
front
she
of your
didn't
lawyers?
mention
Or?
what's his name. What was the show she was on?
Donald Trump,
At least she
Celebrity
didn't mention because
Apprentice.
didn't she get that from him?
Yeah, she said that last
At
time.
least she didn't
But
mention
here's
his
what
name again.
Here's what I don't get. She said she's been dating Gregg since her 20s. And she said, even though I made the most
Yeah,
money, now
I
I don't
thought
have
that
a
too.
partner. What did that sentence mean?
I know, because I thought she didn't have the money.
What is she talking about?
Maybe
even
now.
Even though I
Yeah.
made the most money, I don't have a partner now. What?
Yeah, even that still doesn't go together.
I'm confused with that. The
There's
most
like two
money
things.
thing. I thought Gregg had money.
Money.
To begin with
And then they
before.
Yeah.
went bankrupt.
And then they went bankrupt, and then she now made the most
yeah.
money. So I think she's speaking it now. But how do those two things go together? Like it's just
And things are relative. So she made whatever $3 million because of the Donald Trump thing. Because they're not making millions off of this show.
Right.
Clearly. Is it not relative to time? If he spent over a decade with her, you don't break that up and kind of
Say
prorate.
He spent how much
prorate
on
the
me?
earnings.
girl. A judge will do that
Yeah, let's
real
make an
quick.
adjustment here, NeNe. You didn't make that much. And you're running away with it.
Something she said that caught me off guard. She's like, if I divorce Gregg, somebody's gonna come scoop my ghetto ass up.
Yeah.
I'm like, do
Saying
you
she's
want to
like-
make African American people look bad? Like, do you have to say that on national
Yeah.
television? Like, that was horrible.
What I didn't understand is how she said if we do stay together, there's going to be a lot of forgiving and a lot of forgetting. What is she talking about? What happened that is so bad? It sounds like one of them had an affair or something.
Well, the rumor was that NeNe had an affair.
Yeah. But she's making
like
it seem.
him.
But okay.
Well, they had communication issues.
But forgiving and forgetting, like that means
I think she's
something
just
bad
trying to
happened.
put herself up on a
nobody wants to
pedestal.
sleep with
She's
Peter.
delusional.
Like-
She's trying to belittle his bad endeavors and make it seem as if she's owed an apology, which is classic NeNe. If we think back to first season, she's always felt like she's not the victim. Yeah, the victim.
And
It's all happening to her.
yeah, and she says to her therapist later in the episode, she says, why can't I just have my cake and eat it too? I deserve that at this point in my life.
She just wants him to be friends.
Yeah, that's a typical ex-wife, better than your husband now, grown out of him because you're on a TV show, statement to make.
Can I ask you guys a question? Why do you think
Sure.
she's sure, like you're gonna deny it anyways. Why do you think she's prolonging signing the
She wants
papers
her
after a
cake
year?
to eat it too. And she also
But what is she
knows-
gonna get?
She also knows that he's gonna get half her money.
Right, well, that, and also she adding to that, she said, you know, I feel I'm a good mother and a good wife, and I want the same in return. Well, last week you just admitted that he was a good father, and obviously he was a good husband because he stood by you and provided for you.
I didn't get that either.
I think deep down,
I think all she wants to do is to
knows-
have sex with him.
And meanwhile, your son's in jail. You're not that good of a mother.
I think
Right.
deep down she knows that she is not what she portrays herself to be. You know, it's a lot of bravado. She's not as secure, just like Kandi. She has a certain
All
level of
bravado.
insecurity, and he was the rock for her. And she knows she's a little crazy. And the reality is, I don't think she's believes as much as she puts out there that somebody's gonna come swoop her up. I
Yeah.
think she knows she has limited time.
Because
her
look
clock
who
is
came and
ticking.
tried to swoop her up.
John.
baby.
No, but Jesse, I think you're right. I think for some odd reason, she still wants to have sex with this guy. And I think that maybe she thinks that he's going to go find a younger, prettier girl.
And
'Cause
take
he's
care
nice.
of her.
He has money. That really seems like maybe that's what she's worried about.
I don't want to be rude here, but let's call it like it is. NeNe is from the hood. She's a hood rat. She was a stripper. Basically, every stripper's dream is to meet that one guy on the pole that will take care of you for the rest of your life. And I think that's what.
Never say that.
And so let's be real. I think NeNe knows that was her one guy that would take her off the pole.
I've said it so many times. He came and saved her.
Right.
He pulled her off the pole and saved her.
And she's wrong for divorcing him. I think so.
And she knows she is.
And that's why she's prolonging this whole.
I think to me, she wants to be one of those women that stays married to their ex or whatever for like 15 years and has a boyfriend on the side.
Well, I
That's
think
still
it's
legally
actually we're
married.
seeing the awkwardness and this is reality TV. I think we're actually seeing the reality, and she doesn't know that she's actually giving the reality because she's so blinded by the lights, and that she's sitting in the lawyer's office like, I don't know what I want to do, and she's putting it on like Gregg's this bad thing, and now she's going even harder about how bad of a relationship they had as she's holding out on this divorce, only to make it look like. And now we're starting to sit here and be like, well, now you're flipping the story around. And we're seeing her. She looks like a fish out of water right now.
Well, and also being single, I think she's forced to see the reality in society that maybe her relationship wasn't as bad as she thought it was.
And maybe no one wants you because we've seen who you are on TV. And
she's like Renee from Mob Wives. Crazy.
Are they divorced now?
who?
No. Oh, I don't
That
know.
we should find out. I don't know. I heard they were, but
I thought they were. So obviously she decided to go through with it. But Sheree, let's talk about Sheree and her daughter. She talks to her daughter, and her daughter mentions that her boyfriend might propose. I think that Sheree totally was out of line, totally did the wrong thing by inviting her daughter's boyfriend in lunch and like spilling the beans to him. Like, so I heard
Because what
Dr.
if he was
Daughter-
like, no?
Yeah, exactly, because he did start to say that in the
Well-
beginning. He's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, she thinks you're gonna propose.
can
so
I just point out how ghetto her and her daughter are by pouring a glass of Moscato as they talk about, like, I'm sorry, Moscato is one of the most ghettoest wines I ever have come across. And I just noticed that. I'm sorry I picked that up. But yeah.
I don't know.
Have
these
we
things,
never?
so-
Wait, have we ever thought she wasn't anything but ghetto?
No.
She
But her daughter. But
and
her
her daughter
daughter.
follows
Her
mother's
daughter's
steps,
following her mother's footsteps.
decorates her apartment just like her mother.
Yeah.
But,
I thought it was her apartment.
Sheree was wrong to do that. You are right, Stephanie. But what's his name?
Damon.
Damon was wrong to go to Bobby.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, because it's not really his daughter.
It's not, and they're not together, and he should know how
Devil's
traumatic the
advocate.
relationship
Devil's
is.
advocate.
He might have also
That's the
thought-
dude that raised her. You go to the
And we don't know the conversations that the daughter, whatever her name is, has had
Tierra.
with the boyfriend. Maybe Tierra, maybe she actually has a working friend relationship with Bob.
And she acted like she didn't even know Bob's not paying child support, because when Sheree told
And she
her that,
laughed it off.
She was just like, really?
I think Bob is good to her kids.
When Sheree said that, sitting on the couch with her daughter, when Sheree's like lying or fibbing or not being completely truthful, she says it really fast and she doesn't even speak out her whole word. She goes,
Or she puts her head like this.
yeah.
and because when she confronted Bob at the park, Bob said, because it talks about the son more so, but he has everything he needs when he comes to my house. I think Bob takes care of the kids, and I think that the daughter has a relationship with Bob. And I don't agree. I've never heard, well, in our society, I've never heard of going to the mother anyway.
Yeah, it is mostly you go to the father, but
Sheree ain't paying for the wedding.
Well,
exactly.
Apparently,
Right.
Damon thinks Bob is gonna pay for the wedding. I'm like, well, if he's gonna pay for the wedding, Damon, have him pay for your dental plan because those teeth are disgusting.
What? Was it
not
missing?
those teeth. It was that one. It was one
is it
tooth.
gone?
No, because there's the bottom and the
Oh,
top.
I didn't see the bottom. I
Yes.
couldn't stop looking at that top right tooth that looked like it was orange.
So it's there.
No, it's
just
there, and it was like
brown.
colored.
It was like
wasn't even brown.
discolored.
It wasn't even brown.
and it was like pushed back.
I don't know what
Poor
color it was.
guy.
I don't want to judge or nothing. but-
Aw. Oh, and then when Sheree says, I know he should be spending his money on dental work, but he said he doesn't have that much money to get a ring. And Sheree's like, well, you just tell me what your
Ballpark.
No, he said ballpark.
Oh.
He corrected her. She's like, tell me what your number is.
The
And he's
25
like,
cent machine.
Really?
Well, question.
Quarter machine.
I don't know. Like, don't you? I mean, I've had girlfriends of mine who go out with their boyfriend, and the boyfriend takes them ring shopping.
Yes, but I just think
That's-
that if the boyfriend is going shopping with his mother and his future mother-in-law, and he says, I have this much money to spend, that's like telling your mother-in-law either you don't have enough, probably in her eyes it wouldn't be enough money, so he has to admit to her, this is all I can spend.
Right.
It's none of her business.
Can't you finance a ring and?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And
yeah.
shouldn't Sheree, since she has the money that's going to be going down for the wedding, say, you know what?
She didn't say she was paying for the wedding though.
Well, she made it seem like that when she said, "Oh, I'd
Yeah.
love to see. Oh, Bob's going to pay for this wedding. I'd love to see that." Well, bitch, you ain't.
I think Bob should, just to get back at Sheree.
And put it
I
all on
take care
TV.
of my kids.
You are so evil.
Real Housewives of Atlanta, the second special.
Yeah.
My son doesn't sleep on the floor in
That's
my
crazy.
house.
That is cray.
And the whole time, Sheree just keeps bringing up herself, taking the spotlight off their happy time. Well, my marriage was horrible, and this happened to me, and this to her daughter and to the boyfriend.
Damon
And
Shark.
now you might have just screwed everything over for your daughter's marriage because this boy may not have even wanted to propose, and there's a camera in his face, and the girl that he does love now
Exactly.
at this moment feels like they need to get married. Like you just put him on the spot, like so. And I wonder if who paid for that meal. That
And
lunch.
the daughter never said,
Probably the restaurant.
flat out said, oh, I'm expecting him to. She
Right.
said, I think he might. And Sheree's like, well, she thinks you're going to. Like, totally straight up.
Oh, and she thinks we're gonna go live in a mud hut in your new lot.
Yo, you are cray.
Bob said he's gonna put the down payment on the concrete. on
Bob's
the
gonna buy you a
foundation.
tent.
Oh, that would
A
be
sleeping bag.
No, forget the
Hilarious.
wedding. That's what Bob needs to do. Just have a tent, like a nice one.
A Barbie house.
Spend like one.
Dream house, Barbie dream house.
No,
the
not
Malibu
even
mansion.
that. The playhouse when you were younger, and it was just cloth,
Yeah.
and the doors just go. And above,
He sends over
Sheree's palace.
Sheree's palace.
What is Chateau Sheree?
Chateau Sheree. That's it.
He's gonna
That's it.
send her a jumper.
Poor Sheree.
I can't live.
No, not
so
poor
Courtney,
Sheree.
where are you?
I feel so bad for her.
You feel bad. She sets
just feel
herself
like-
up. It's
She
like
completely
that the
sets her-
damn tea when you were little and you just put the ball right on it.
She by Sheree.
She by
That's all I gotta say.
She had
Her
pictures.
clothing line's gonna pay for the wedding.
She had pictures of at her
Sheree's gonna
first
make the
fashion show.
dress. Sheree's
No
gonna make the
clothing
dress.
articles.
Just pictures.
I can't with Sheree.
Uh-huh.
In
Ronnie,
the
let's-
words of Courtney, I can't with Sheree. Ronnie, let's take a commercial break in because we have news and gossip to get down to. And
Yeah.
Get it.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
What's wrong? What's wrong, Jesse?
We're back.
All right, so we've uncovered a little dirt on Phaedra, and Mykee's going to tell us all about it.
Okay, so I guess in news and gossip, Phaedra's longtime friend, allegedly, says that Phaedra and Apollo were criminal business partners before they were ever married, and that Angela, this girl Angela, had got involved with them by, I guess they were doing insurance fraud and scams before all three of them, and Angela was chopping up cars, she says, and stealing cars with Apollo, and that's when they both got locked up. And this scam.
Criminal-minded.
But the agreement between her and Phaedra and Apollo was that if they were to get caught, Phaedra would represent them in court. Supposedly, Phaedra only helped Apollo and left Angela high and dry. So now Angela's out and is exposing Phaedra for the criminal that she really is.
And for being the mastermind. Angela said that Phaedra was the mastermind and planned all of this. And so they were stealing, they'd go into a nice dealership, steal the VIN number, go get tags and titles and everything, then come back and drive the car out of the lot.
Right. Now, it's kind of funny now that Phaedra is becoming popular and a little famous.
It could happen.
Here's the thing. I mean, it could happen, but I kind of don't think so. And this woman, Angela Stanton, does the interviews on Vibe.com if you guys want to see it. And she's writing a book that she's trying to get her book sold, of course, to cash in the Real Housewives. So it's going to be called "Lies of a Real Housewife: Tell the Truth and Shame and Don't Shame the Devil," or something like that.
So
she's releasing a book. I know. It's
and even if this was true, sorry, I interrupted you. Even if this was true, there's nothing illegal about an attorney making a deal with a criminal before an actual crime happens. It's happened repeatedly through history with mob bosses and.
But it's not right.
I don't think that's.
I mean,
illegal,
it doesn't mean it's right, but it's still nothing illegal. So I mean, if Phaedra was a part of that, no, it's not illegal.
What? Sorry.
If somebody was to come to you and you're a lawyer and say, "This may be happening, I need you to represent me," and then they go and do it, and you make a deal, that's not illegal.
But Phaedra was like the one that planned it.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I love Phaedra to death, and
I can see her doing it. I'm sorry.
I could too. Like, and just seeing how smart she is and like how forward she is, like for her to think about, for anybody to sit there and say, you know what, a funeral home. I want to start this business. It'll make me money. To like be able to think that ahead and deeply about something like that.
I can see her masterminding that whole plan that she allegedly did, because she did all the legal paperwork to get their VIN numbers and all that stuff allocated correctly and get the new keys.
But look how convenient it is that, okay, Phaedra kind of left you high and dry, and now you're angry coming back with this tell-all book to expose her.
But think about if you were in on this with 2 other people, and now they're happily married on TV. You're sitting there like you just in jail, just watching every day.
Writes for Vibe, right?
No, I think it's just an interview. I don't think she writes for Vibe. She's an interview for Vibe. And here's the key thing. At the end of the interview, it says, see her next interview where she talks about her criminal background. Like, this lady is not reliable.
No, yeah, and she could just be whatever. But I'm just saying, Phaedra, like, there's a reason why we can see it. Sorry, love you.
I can't see it, so sorry.
I can. Ethics. I mean, seriously, you're a lawyer, you uphold the law, but you chose. And I'm not saying you can't fall in love with. You can't control who you love.
We just watched The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, I did. It was a great movie.
Great movie, but I mean, it kind of proves Matthew McConaughey did some shady stuff.
I can totally see Phaedra doing it. I don't know if it's true, but I could see it. And if it is true, stuff will come out. And
Yeah,
we'll
I'm not
know
saying
it.
she did it, but I don't put it past her.
So if nothing comes out, then it's not true. But if this woman keeps going and has some proof behind it, other than, oh, we just used to be friends, like...
Do we know if this whole book is dedicated to exposing Phaedra?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
it's
it's called
dedicated to
Real
Marlo.
Housewives.
It's dedicated to Marlo.
Well, you have dirt on Marlo, too, right?
Well, not really dirt, but Marlo went to a Neiman Marcus party for the NBAF Fine Art
Is
and
it when they
Fashion.
held the doors open for?
Right. The Fine Art and Fashion Show in Atlanta with designer Zach Posen, who styles for Rihanna, Natalie Portman, and so forth. But she was wearing the same dress as Nicki Minaj, who I think it was...
Billboard Music Awards.
She wore it at the
last year.
AMAs.
Oh, yeah.
What did it look like?
It was the black one with the green...
There's a
At the
green
bottom, a
poofy dress.
huge green,
like a fairy
train.
tale. Nicki Minaj wore it much better than she did, but here's my thing, and I can't even hate on her because I think it was smart of her. She did that shit on purpose. Nicki Minaj is huge right now,
Celebrity.
and everyone's gonna take a picture of her and say who wore it better.
Who wore
That's
it better?
all it is.
And that's where
Yep.
I got it.
That's going on. Sidebar. That's going on with Kim Kardashian, who loaned her one of her dresses to her younger sister Kendall, and Kendall wore the shit out of that
Oh,
dress.
really.
Oh.
Sick.
Yeah.
With no accessories, just a sick ass pair of shoes, and they did a whole vote thing, and everybody voted that Kendall wore the shit out of that
Well,
dress.
on NicoleBitchie.com, they actually compared Marlo, Nicki Minaj, and the original Runway model who wore it. And of course, we all know who wore it best. Not Nicki Minaj nor Marlo. It was the Runway model. But I think Nicki Minaj, between Marlo and Nicki Minaj, probably Nicki Minaj.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure she just held herself better and
Yeah. everything.
What I found out is the reunion was just filmed because they're all tweeting about it.
Yeah.
And I have their tweets. And so apparently some stuff goes down at the reunion. So I don't know what it is. I'm thinking maybe Kandi and Kim. So Kandi writes on Twitter because it was just like 2 days ago, maybe.
Kenny, Kim.
Yeah. Well, Kenny and Kim. So Kandi writes on Twitter, I'm so irritated right now. Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. She wrote, good morning. And then the next day she wrote, good morning. Yesterday I let people get under my skin and take me out of my character, but I'm looking forward to a better day. So some drama goes down the reunion. Thank God we can look forward to that. And then NeNe wrote about the reunion show. Filming the reunion show. Wow, you guys got to tune in for this. Fireworks. The thing I learned at the reunion show yesterday is that people will say, do, and believe whatever they want. Dumb broads.
So wait, why did you say Kim and Kandi?
Oh, because somebody's fighting with Kandi, so I was thinking maybe it was Kim.
Or I think it might be
But
Sheree or
it
Cynthia.
could be Cynthia. No, Sheree. That's what I
I'm
meant.
thinking Sheree.
Sheree?
You don't think it's Sheree?
I'm thinking Sheree.
It's probably Sheree.
I just hope Sheree gets called out on everything and everybody.
I want them to do a video montage. The bed on the floor, the mud lot, Bob.
When does
watering her.
when is the reunion? Because
I
how
think
many episodes do we have left?
We
We
have
have
5 more episodes and then the reunion.
So, how many? That's like.
Damn,
over months.
5 more episodes?
Yeah. So
The
the
thing-
end of April.
Yeah, the thing I like about the reunion is at least it's more in real time than these episodes are. These episodes are so long ago. At least
Right.
the reunion, when they do it, I think they should film the reunion a week before it airs.
Agreed.
But a month, okay, we'll take it.
Because sometimes they don't see each other 6 months after taping.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, we haven't seen each other since.
Oh.
So they don't really feel as strongly about it.
Kim probably hasn't seen anybody. So what?
Probably locked up in the house with Croy, of course.
So what do we think? Predictions for next week?
Ayden being baptized like a pharaoh or
As-
being brought in
As if we thought it couldn't get any worse. He's brought in like a king,
on a,
Like
but
a
it wasn't even
pharaoh.
like a
He's
nice
such a
thing. It was
cute
like
baby,
a
though.
box.
like a cardboard box covered in paper mache. And the little white kid at the church, in the all-black church, announced them, here he is, like, dun, 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 like the little blonde. Like, no, you brought him in
That
to
baby's
make the
cute, though,
announcement.
but
He is
I'm not even
so
going there on that one.
cute.
I'm going to just not go.
Sheree and Damon ring shopping. This is gonna be a mess. I just can feel it.
$40,000 was the one they were looking
Yeah,
at.
for
She's
a
like, you
ring.
better work some overtime.
And he was choking on his life.
Poor guy.
And Croy's back, Daddy.
Oh,
Daddy,
awkward.
When that played, we all looked at each other. We're like, "That was the creepiest thing
That
we've ever
was
seen." It was
weird.
creepy. It was morbid. Like the Brielle's waiting in the window seat, like on Atonement or something. Like, here he comes. Like, Daddy. Like, you should
It
not
was
call
all
him
creepy.
Daddy.
Kim saying daddy instead of dad, and the kids going daddy.
Daddy. It was so creepy. I cannot wait. And did you see his look? He looked like he was
like,
about to
"Oh,
drop his bag and
where's my
like
son?"
run the other way.
He's like, damn, these girls are about to work me.
He was like, "Where is my little baby?
Where's my
That's the
baby?"
only one I want to see."
Well, I'm excited for Kim walking down the street. Cynthia, hey,
Waddling, like,
Holding her dress.
I love when she holds
got
her
something to
dress.
talk to you about.
I predict that Kim's lease is gonna run out on her house.
Well, what we do know is that nothing is probably going to happen with Kim and Cynthia. That was it. Her stampeding out into the parking lot because Bravo would have showed it if anything happened.
Right.
But I
You
still
think?
want to see it.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3.
While
And
we're on
with
it,
that-
while we're on it, guys, visit us on
I'm gonna
iTunes.
let the audience hear our test.
Who's that?
This is live from the Grove, I
Let's go to
assume.
mic number 3.
Yes.
So this is
Watch
Phil
my Spice
Svitek
Live.
speaking right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah, I think this is getting ready for Dancing with the Stars
All
tonight.
right,
Maybe
let
this
me
is our
switch
warning
out.
Okay.
and our cue to
Mike,
tell
hold on
everyone
one
to tune
second.
into
Yeah,
Dancing
guys,
with the
make
Stars.
sure you
Can you hear me too?
go
Oh, yeah,
ahead,
please
Steph.
tune in.
And vote for Maria Menounos.
Yeah,
Can
vote
you
for Maria Menounos tonight.
can't hear me.
Tonight, they're going to be broadcasting from the Grove. I believe it's going to be
There's
live
an echo.
streaming. So everyone tune in. I don't know if Maria's going to be there, but
Hold on
they're
one
definitely going to
second.
talk about the show. You can follow me at Steph Bauer TV on Twitter.
At Tomikava777.
You can follow me at Mykee Wattz, Mykee3000watts.com.
At DJ Jesse J.
And please comment on iTunes.
Yes.
and on
Download us.
YouTube.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Yeah, the more comments, the better. And tune in to Dancing with the Stars and vote for Maria.
Yeah.
Team enough.
Team
Team
Menounos.
enough.
All right, see you guys next week.
Peace.
Bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.